What's up guys, Mortar, True Good Development. I'm on site today on one of my flips. I'm working on this bathroom. And there's two purposes for this video. A, can you install cement board, Durock, directly onto plywood substrate? The second purpose is how to obtain leveled floors without using floor leveler. The answer to both is yes. And I'll explain. I'll switch the camera and show you what I'm doing.
Okay, so we've discussed two questions. Is A, can you apply cement board directly onto plywood? And we said the answer is yes. From the manufacturer, you do not need to use thinset to apply onto plywood as long as the floor is level and the plywood that's used is proper. Now, I know this is the proper plywood substrate here for this bathroom. So we're going to adhere it directly onto the plywood in the areas where it is completely level, right here. And I've measured this, and this is a level floor. However, as we go into this part of the bathroom, you'll see that I've added a couple of pieces of plywood of different depth. Obviously, the reason being is we're much lower in this side of the bathroom than we are here. So we need to get this far end of the bathroom level with the rest of this side. What I went and did was add these different depths of plywood to achieve the same height here as we got here. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. Now the rest I'm going to actually go in and fill with my thinset. And the thinset that I'm using is a polymeric enriched thinset from Mapai, and I'll show you that later when I mix it up. So the idea is, and you can see where I've put in my signs as to where am I starting my mortar or thinset and how far am I bringing it up. So what we do not want to see, and I don't know if you can see it from the camera here, is these gaps. You see what happens if you have gaps? And you don't want that. You want this floor to be nice and tight, so when you go in to put your tile, you don't have any issues down the line with potential cracking, or whatnot. See this right here? This is nice and tight onto the substrate. We're gonna go ahead and screw this down right away. However, from this point on, you see the lifting, and it gets heavier and heavier as we get up to this side. So what I did is, to give me a gauge of how far I need to go with my thinset, I put in these different pieces. Let me show you how that works. So I put this piece in here. Now, let's assume this is our piece. So now what I want to see is that this side is going to be level with this here. That is pretty level. I don't think it could get any better than that. So now I have my gauge set up there. I know that my work needs to be done right here in the middle somewhere. And if you look around, it tells you exactly where we need to fill, right there. We're not too bad here, right? Once you screw this down, this is nice and tight. However, as you get up here, you're gonna have that gap, and that's what you do not want. So we're gonna go ahead and fill this in with the mortar. And if you see down here, I actually have my marking, and I'm going up to here, and I'm terminating right where this piece is. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix up some mortar. I'm gonna put it in, and then we're gonna show you how the whole thing works. Okay, so I got my mortar mixed. I have my mask on, so hopefully you can hear me, but I got my thinset mixed. I'm using this cheap trowel. I have the fancy stuff, but frankly, I like how light this is, and this is not a big job, so this will work for me. And the consistency that I worked with here is, you know, kind of like a buttery, peanut butter type consistency.
I'm done with my mortar. Now we're going to throw this guy right in. Try to be very gentle with this guy. All right. Oh. You know, a lot of times I work by myself. And when you got situations like these, you almost wish that, you know, you had another hand, but most of the time I get it figured out. Still, it would be nice to have the help. I'm going to go ahead and apply some pressure on this. So you want all that thinset to spread out nice and evenly. I can already feel that it's really getting in there. I have a mallet, but you don't want to use that on this stuff. All right, now here comes the big test. That is a perfect level floor. And if you look underneath here, we got no spaces except obviously here. And that's where we're going to apply our tape. And then a thinset mortar to really level it out, right?
Well, there you go. I don't like using floor leveler for two reasons. One, it's more mixing. Two, it takes time for it to dry before you can go ahead and put your cement board on. With this, I'm ready to go. I'm gonna tape my edges, throw some more thinset on, and screw everything down. I hope this helped you guys. Please subscribe to support the channel. If you have any comments, go ahead and shoot them for me. I'll be happy to address. And guys, if you're into flips, check out my other flip videos. And see you on the next one. Thanks.